Now, in your first paragraph, I basically expect to see two sentences: a general statement and a position statement. These two terms are not alien to us. In fact, I remember spending so much time on this in the last writing class we had, the traditional class we had in school during the uh, argumentative texts. When I asked a handful of you and you weren't able to tell me, you remember the disappointment I felt that day. And I remember spending so much time making sure that everyone was could tell me what a position statement is. Don't fail me again. Come on, girls. Every introduction should contain a position statement. You can't write a piece, you can't write an essay without giving a position statement in your introduction. It comes up every time, every time. This is why it's very important. So a general statement, we all know what a general statement is, where you creatively state say something about the topic you're given. I'll still use my example on the bullying. That is the example I've been using in all my explanation in this uh, on this topic. So let's say we still use the bullying. A good general statement could be something like, bullying has become a major problem faced by school children. This a problem which has prevented them from reaching their full potential in the learning environment. Full stop. See, something like that. Bullying has become a major problem faced by school children, which has prevented them from reaching the full potential in the learning environment. This is a very good general statement. Something like this. You can play around it, play around words. Then immediately following this is a position statement. In this essay, now this is the beginning of my position statement. In this essay, I will be telling you, or I'll be giving you my opinions on how to deal with a bully, or how to deal with bullies in your school. Now you see, from this second statement, now I'm beginning to introduce that personal pronoun. I'm beginning to make my reader feel like I'm addressing them directly. Okay, the first one being a general statement, something that is generally true, and then in the second sentence I give my position statement, which is what my essay will be about. Okay, so that is basically your paragraph one. Now from the section two, I don't want to use the paragraph two. I want to use section because it's not typically a paragraph. Now, from your section two, you're going to begin to use those visual aids and presentational devices and layout format. So from section two, you immediately state a subheading. I want to see a subheading. Okay, remember I told you I'm going to be looking out for all those features, language and structural features. So you write a subheading. And in my previous video, I told you what the second section will be about. So a good subheading could be why you should deal with a bully. Remember, you're telling your second section is telling me what I stand to gain, the benefits of dealing with the problem. If the case is, in the case of this same example I keep using about dealing with a bully, a good subheading could be why you should deal with a bully. Ask yourself, what are the benefits of dealing with a bully? What will your readers stand to gain if they deal with the problem? Those are the things you're going to be including. So it's basically going to look this way. I've given just a brief sample. Why you should deal with a bully, a subheading, and then you put your facts or your points, the reasons why they should deal with a bully, in bullet points in a list format, coming on the layout in this way. Okay, so to create a comfortable learning environment, to enable better concentration in school activities, which will in turn enable improvement in your studies. Just a sketch. Okay, so it should be something like this. Now in a third section, you're also going to use the presentational devices to help you here. I want to see another subheading. In this section, you're now going to give them the actual tips on how to deal with the bully. After you've told them what they stand to gain or why they should deal with the bully or deal with the problem, in section two, in the third section now, you're going to tell them how to actually deal with the problem. And you're going to begin with a subheading reading something like how to actually get rid of a bully. Okay? And remember what I told you. In this part, this is where I expect you to use all those conditional sentences in the beginning, because here you're telling them how to deal with the bully. So now you're giving instructions, but remember, it's not a typical instruction text. So you're going to be making it conversational by expanding on those instructions. Don't make them sound like outright commands. And remember, for every tip you give, for every instruction you give, or friendly instruction, I say friendly instruction, for every friendly instruction you give, remember to give a reason. This is where I'm looking out for the reasons, the argumentative features that this an advisory text has adopted. So for each for each instruction that you give a reason. All right. So it's going to basically look something like this. After you've given your subheading, how to actually get rid of a bully, still in bullet points like this, in the list format, okay? You say something like, if this is a sentence I gave you in the previous video. So it's still a repetition. If you want to get rid of a bully, comma, you could or you should go to the principal. Now, this is my tip. From here, go to the principal. This is the actual instruction, but I've expanded with this conditional clause beginning with the conjunction if. I've expanded with this to make it more conversational and more relaxed. Okay, now following this instruction is my reason. This is because the principal is in a position of authority and has the power to discipline the bully or to punish the bully, to make them stop disturbing you. Now, this is my reason. This is how I expect this section of your essay to be. Subheading and all your instructions now in bullet points in a list format. For every instruction you give, make sure you back it up with a reason. And now after this, the third section, which is the last concluding paragraph. In this paragraph, you're basically just going to creatively restate that general statement you gave me in the introduction. Okay? It's going to be something like this. Let's say, in conclusion, of course, remember, I told you I want to be seeing your signpost. So, in the conclusion, good signposts are, in conclusion, to summarize, because in conclusion, in your concluding paragraph, you're also indirectly summarizing, generalizing all that you've been saying in the essay, all your opinions on how to deal with a problem. You're going to generalize them in your conclusion. Okay, so you begin with something like, in conclusion, to summarize, and then you say something like, because bullying is a major issue that can deprive you from benefiting from being in a school or learning environment, it is important for you to tackle this problem. Now, all I've just said is paraphrasing my general statement, the general statement which I started my essay with, the very first sentence I gave in my introduction. Now, after giving that general statement, you can go, you can wrap it up with something like this. If you follow, now generalizing, okay, all you've said in the essay, more like summarizing all the tips you've given on how to deal with the problem. And you say something like, if you follow my opinions on how to deal with this problem, as stated in the body paragraphs or as stated above, you should start rediscovering the fun part of learning again. You should get more comfortable in your school environment, and any other, pick one of those benefits, one of those things they stand to gain from your second section, and use it to, make it very creative and sum it up here. Okay? So this, I basically expect to see 4 sections: paragraph 1, section 2, section 3, and then concluding paragraph. Okay? This is what I expect your whole essay to look like. So, of course, you're not going to be writing on bullying. You have a different topic to write on, as given by the textbook. But this is what you're going to look at, what you're going to lean on for inspiration and to guide you on what to actually write. So good luck.